Hey guys, it's Galahad B here, and I'm back with another video on Gaia project. So I have another interesting game that just recently finished in the Gaia project Champions League. Um, and I am playing against New Auden, Swinyo, and Hustguan. All of them fairly good players. New Auden a really good player. And it's, I think, a pretty exciting game. Um, because one of the perks of this Champions League format is it's a random map. I don't know if that's good or bad. For me, it's like neutral. So we have this randomized map, which is supposed to be balanced, but nobody gets to rotate anything. So you just have to live with what it gives you. But to make up for it, everyone gets to ban a faction if they so desire, and then there's going to be an auction. And usually, what will happen is that the most busted factions will just get eliminated in the ban phase, and then some more niche factions will make it into the draft. And that usually makes for pretty interesting games. Anyways, I think this one is one of them. So let's have a look at it. So yeah, we see the map has a lot of brown planets and pretty close reach. It has a lot of blue planets and pretty good reach, and everything else is a little more scattered. Is an interesting green Gaia planet placement, but alright. Oh, and yeah, this is also pretty important. So big building round one, then trade posts, and then bad scoring in round six. Usually not a sign for the best scoring games, but yeah. And tons of buildings. Like you want to be building as much as possible this game. And tactiles, well, interestingly enough, we have the Gaia tactile on top of the Gaia track. So yeah, Gaia factions will love this. Um, and then yeah, everything else is just super awkward. Like you have income tile up on Terra, another income tile basically on top of Science. We have the Fed scoring the passing, but we have a round 6 Fed scoring, so not ideal. And then we have the tech bump advanced tactile on top of the navigation track, which is not ideal. Like if this was on top of the economy track, then Firax would love it, and Nevlas too. Like this, not good. And yeah, planet type advanced tactile on top of AI is also not ideal. So yeah, my impression from this is it's probably a fairly low scoring game where the final scoring will actually have a significant input on who's going to win the game. And so yeah, that was my initial thought. Alright, so we see Ivets banned. Yeah, Ivets could probably make a lot of use of this tactile, and they are just generally very unfun to play against, in my opinion. I ban Taklons because of this set of brown planets over there, and I just generally, yeah, I feel like low scoring games, if Taklons get charged, then it's just annoying. To be honest, looking at it now, I'm not sure Taklons would have been charged a lot, but yeah. I mean, either way, I think it's a reasonable ban. Then Terrans get banned. So I love Terrans. I really like playing them. But it makes a lot of sense. Like, yeah, this setup is disgusting in a low-scoring environment. You don't want a Gaia faction running away with the game. And then finally, Itara's banned, yeah, which makes a lot of sense because they are just pretty busted. All right, so now for the draft. Ostguan added Ambus to the draft. I like Ambus, but I have problems scoring a lot with them. And they like doing a lot of federations, but they usually start pretty early with the first one, and then have one or two feds every round. So they probably don't score more than 3 feds in round 6, maybe even just 2. So I wasn't like this fed scoring did not signal to me that Ambus would be a super hard pick here. And the tracks that they typically like to go on, so terraforming, navigation are not very appealing for Ambus at all. So yeah, it's an okay pick, but nothing that excites me. And so now I'm in C2, so I get the next pick. And I was debating a lot between Baltax, because I love Baltax, and Baltax, like there's room for someone who can Gaia form with Itars and Terrans out of the way, and this tactile in a what I think going to be low scoring game um, has a lot of room for Baltax. The problem with Baltax here is that the planet placement is just super awkward, in my opinion. You have a bunch of range 4 jumps, right? From this to here is range 4, this to this is like the only thing you have is these two planets right next to each other, but you might not be getting this one because somebody else might snatch it, and then this is just all the way in the corner. Here, well, you have nowhere really to go aside from this one transdim, and this is on a pretty good location, but again, you have basically nowhere to go. Like you have nothing in range 3, pretty much, or almost nothing. Like everything is just super awkward. That I felt like, okay, I love Baltax, but maybe this is not the game for Baltax. So what I was thinking instead was Lantids. Like Terrans are out of the way. This is a very nice set of blue planets, and we have a probably low scoring environment because like even the trade posts early on are not that exciting. Then Gaia in round 4 is like factions that don't Gaia form will probably not score anything here, or maybe just once. And yeah, we will not have a lot of Gaia forming factions like this. Yeah. To make use of this, you have to go hard on Gaia forming, but the factions that can go hard on Gaia forming are either a pretty bad spot map setup wise or banned. um, so yeah, I was thinking Lantids might be good here. Like they want to build a big building round 1 no matter what, and they love these final scorings. It's a low scoring environment, so they might do well here, is what I'm thinking. And round 6 Fed scoring is not bad for Lantids when you look at these advanced tactiles. Like, none of them are super good for the Lantids, so might as well just get 4 Feds in round 6, right? So, the idea is 36 points from final scoring, 20 points from round 6 bonus, plus 5 from here, and then, maybe hit some of these, like this one's, this one's, this one's. Doesn't sound so bad. And then, maybe you can get this tile and go Econ 5 or something. So, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Then we had Firax. Makes a lot of sense in my opinion. Like, the map setup is not the best, I would say, for Firax, especially with Ambus in the game. Will contest over these planets. But Firax can Gaia form. And with this setup, they're the only ones who can so efficiently, or somewhat efficiently, and they can navigate these tracks in order to do so properly. So yeah, they make sense. That said, they also have some problems. Iraqs suck at the final scoring of these two objectives, like just terrible, probably the worst two of them. Round 6 Fed scoring, like not terrible, I would say, but that basically disqualifies this tactile because Ferox struggle with Feds in general, and make use of these advanced tactiles. You usually have to grab early Feds, but it's different for these two. So if Gaia Wreck is uncontested, then yeah, Ferox can be pretty good. And finally, Nevlas. And Nevlas, yeah, I love Nevlas. Like, I love a lot of factions, and Nevlas has some, decent placements of their planets. But yeah, everything is just a little awkward, I think, for the Nevlas here. Will not want to Gaia form as Nevlas because you really value your power tokens and your power income, and you can't get income on your Gaia form tokens. This tactile, which Neverless do like a lot, is in a really bad track for them. This, like we mentioned, is awkward, and yeah, everything just a little awkward. So okay, so this is the situation. And I'm struggling with the game plan. Like for Firax, I have a game plan. Game plan is do stuff like ideally open PI and then PIRL round 1, and just do your normal stuff with Econ 4. And then as soon as you can, go Gaia forming, like round 3 or at the very latest round 4. And then hope to score a bunch of points from these two tiles. But you basically trade these points, right? So I wasn't so sure of that. I felt like, okay, Virax are good, but not like super good. Like you basically need this combination as Virax to be able to compete with the other factions, because you will probably score 0 points here in what I still believe is going to be a low scoring game. And Ambers and Neverless, like I don't really have that much of a game plan with them, to be honest. Like one game plan maybe is Ambers try and play AI track and performing track, but that sounds super wrong. Get this tile, like no, that I don't. So basically, Ambers just tried to hit the round scoring well, which is possible, I guess, and then just hope to outscore the others with their PI ability and win, because nobody's going to score a lot, and then Ambers are not that bad. Possibly. Yes, this is a very good tile for the Ambers, but it's not on a track that they can realistically fight over, I think. I haven't seen that happen yet, anyways. And I think, yeah, if you go Econ 4 and grab this tile early, then yeah, it's probably a little late to expand and get a lot of fat tokens early, which is also suboptimal because of round 6 fat bonus. So, and yeah, and Neverless, I don't really have a game plan for Neverless yet. Like, usually I have game plans for Neverless, but this is just, I don't know. I guess try to expand like crazy early on, but you kind of want to open the IRL. At least I usually want to open that. Like, Neverless really value their big buildings. But if you open the IRL, then yeah, I mean, none of these tracks really help you expand that much. Like, Nav 2 is a little awkward because the jumps of 3, and this planet is a little unsafe to grab. So in the end, I was like, okay, Lantids is probably best here, just because of the final scoring and because the round bonus, works kind of nicely with what they are trying to do. Not like super nicely, but good enough. And nothing else really excites me any more than Lantids. And I'm excited to just play Lantids because I haven't played them in a competitive setting like ever. And so I think my bid allocation here was 5 points on Lantids, and then I think 3 points on Firax, and then I think I had like 1 or 2 points on Ambus, and then 0 points on Neverless or something like that. So everything really close together, because I felt like, okay, everything is kind of, even in strength, and nothing really stands out. And so yeah, that's what I bid, like 5 points on Lantids. And what ended up happening, which I found pretty interesting, is everybody bid on their own faction. Like Hustguan bids 0 VP on Ambus and gets it because nobody else wanted to play Ambus. I bid my 5 VP on Lantids and get it because nobody wanted to play Lantids. And then, yeah, these other guys, they set like a lot of victory points on their factions when I felt like, okay, it's like everything is kind of even, like completely balanced. I wouldn't even know what to put on these. Usually I'm not shy in bidding 20 VP or even 40 VP, or I think I went as high as 60 victory points and just to avoid playing certain factions. But here I felt like, okay, everything is pretty much even. I don't even know where to start. And they have a bunch of points allocated, where I was super surprised to see that. But okay, I mean, I end up getting Lantids for free, which I feel like, okay, that's fair. I had a game plan. The game plan was Ambers will probably place here because you can easily reach these other two planets, and you will be pretty likely to have a neighbor over there. And this is the other spot that I was eyeing because I felt like, okay, White wants to place here and here. And you know, Iraqs want two neighbors so they can open PIRL. So they want locations where they are pretty much guaranteed neighbors, and this seems pretty promising. Like Blue will 100% place this vicinity, and Nevertheless want a place where they get charged. So it makes sense that if they expect Blue and Gray to place here, that they would place there. But what ended up happening was that Amber's placed here, where I felt like, okay, this is a little weird. I guess you can grab this planet from that position. Is that really that different from placing down here? I don't know. And then I signaled that I want to place here. I placed here early because I felt like, okay, now what's going to happen is that Firax will place here, and that might force Amber's hand, because like if Firax plays here and here, then Ambers needs to put their second mine either here or as their very first action jump here, or else they will not have any neighbors. Because the other brown planets will, well, maybe this one will get a neighbor, but this is just a super awkward position to start from. Like you have nothing there, pretty much. Like it's right at the edge. There's no easy jumps. Like this is a range 3 jump, and even if you jump to here, then like where else do you go? I mean, Jirax will probably place here. So yeah, very awkward. So my thinking was if Jirax plays here, then Ambus is pretty screwed, because like this is then just a waste of a mine. But Firax crossed my plans, and they also placed there. And now this is really awkward for me, because I was so sure that when I placed this mine there that I'll be having two neighbors here, and the whole idea of Lantids was open PI and then build 5 mines round 1. Or actually build 4 mines, but that you end round 1 with Planetary Institute and 5 mines. So 1 mine here, 1 mine there, then QIC jump here, and voila, you have 4 mines. That works if you take 1 step up on terraforming 1, you get 2 extra ore, then you have enough. You just need some extra coins from conversions. But you'll be getting charged. Like, at least I thought I was getting charged until I saw this. Alright. And then Nevertheless plays where we would expect them to place, no surprise there. And then Firax again surprised me, because they chose to place here instead of there. And I'm thinking, like, what's he doing? I mean, I'm Lantids. Everyone loves Lantids. I'm gonna give you so much charge if you place next to me, but he just refused to do that. And now something happened that I really didn't see coming, that everybody placed in a way that would force me to charge Nevertheless. And I'm like so confused at this point, because the last thing I was thinking going into this game was that I was playing a Lantids game where it'll just stupidly charge Nevertheless. Like that was not on my card, right? The idea was we have a nice little charge party down there. Nevertheless gets 0 charge until Firax at some point upgrade. Yeah, here was what I was thinking. And that's it. Like no further charge round 1 for the Nevertheless. And instead, yeah, people place in a way that forced me to charge Nevertheless, and that makes me feel like at this point I'm thinking, oh damn, I'm gonna get eliminated here because this is a tournament game. Um, where the loser of this match, like the fourth place player, will get eliminated and everyone else moves on to the next round. And this is like round 7, I think, of the tournament. There's been a lot of players, and with only one player from each table being eliminated, yeah, it takes a while to eliminate everyone. So at this point, I'm feeling like, oh man, if I had known that, I would not have been on Lantids. Like, this is terrible. So my whole plan of having a PI build 5 mines or build 4 mines went completely out of the window because at this point I know, okay, I'm fucked. I cannot open PI anymore. So I place here because this is the only spot where I'll have a reliable name. I could have placed here, I guess, but the thinking was if I place here, then Nevertheless gets a choice. They can either charge me if they upgrade there, or they can charge the Furax by upgrading there. And my thinking was that Nevertheless will 100% charge the Furax because they will expect this to possibly become either a research lab, which would then consecutively get downgraded every round for more free charge, or it's going to become a PI, which, well, at least is going to charge them twice. So in my mind, they'll 100% upgrade here, not there. So I'll place here, which is not the position that I wanted. I wanted to place here, have 2 neighbors, get some free charge while I'll upgrade down there. But alright, that's the mine placement. Oh, and yeah, and now another weird thing happens where like Ambers places both of their mines basically next to each other, and I'm so confused because they have these nice 1 QAC jumps to colonize these 2 planets. And like they could have placed down there so they'll have another neighbor. But no, like nobody, like everyone's playing to avoid charging Lantids here. And I'm so confused and very sad. But okay, it is what it is. So old plan is now dead and buried. I need a new plan. And the new plan is okay, I mean a big building round 1. So I want to build big buildings, and if I can't open PI, and I don't think I can because nothing is adjacent, like even with a 1 QAC jump, I couldn't even reach over there. So there's no way I can open PI. There's absolutely no way. And I also can't really expand that well because, like, sure, I could maybe open research lab, get an extra QAC, and build some mines there, but that would net me 0 points. And then when am I gonna build my PI? Like that's not gonna work either. And thinking it's gonna be a low scoring game, I decided, okay, I'll just have to open Academy then. Open Academy, get a Knowledge Academy, get a lot of knowledge income, and then get a good tech scoring because I'll build the PI later on, getting those 16 knowledge from the shared mines or the embassies. And I'll score points that way. I'll just have to delay my plan and play it slow. Like, okay, it's not ideal. I want to be building tons of buildings, and I'll start by building nothing. Like, I'll just upgrade to an academy, and that's it. I'll probably not even be able to build a second mine because I'm not getting any charge. So, alright, so we see the booster tiles. Yeah, Nevertheless gets power and range. Virax gets what I think is generally the best round booster early on. Coins 1 QAC. And then I grab just ore. Like this, I needed ore to be able to afford my academy. The other tiles were just worse. And having extra power tokens as Lantids is actually pretty good. Like, I know in round 1 it's maybe not perfect, but it's never worse than not having them. And since the plan is build academy and probably nothing else, I'll be left with 1 mine. So would I rather have 1 more victory point, 1, or 2 more power tokens? And this Lantid starting with only 4 power tokens. I definitely want those power tokens. And certainly so if you consider that there's this tactile, the economy track, and I know Nevertheless is going to charge me. They will 100% upgrade here. Because, I mean, they can't upgrade anywhere else because Nevertheless is also a little screwed. Like, they will get charged, but this will be without neighbors. So the whole plan that I would be thinking they had of opening PI and research lab is also probably not happening. We'll see. I don't actually remember. So yeah, I grabbed this tile. All right, and Ambus gets the other or tile, which I guess is a little surprising. This booster tile also very exciting. All right, so Neverless upgrade, and then I upgrade over there. At this point, I'm pretty committed to the academy opening, but I mean, I'm gonna upgrade to trade station no matter what. So at this point, there's no real decision happening. Happy I get some charge. Right, Ambus. Yeah, this was a little interesting. Opens RL, takes this and goes up. Terraforming. So yeah, that makes sense. They wanna build their academy. I just think Ambus always have that much ore, but yeah, I guess not round one maybe. And so now I would have to decide between going academy or PI. But like I said, it's not really a decision because the PI path is just completely dead. I think I upgrade here to research lab, yeah, and before Neverless upgrade to their PI, so I charge them slightly less. I'm really uncomfortable charging Neverless, but what can I do? And yeah, I want to go up the economy track, but I'm thinking now, can I afford to take 2 income tactiles, or do I have to take the one I see? But I feel like, okay, if push comes to shove, I can always transform this into an extra ore and burn 1 power to get an extra coin, which would really suck, but I mean, then I'd still have 1 power token more than I would have had if I didn't get this tile. So I feel like I can get 2 tactiles. I 100% want this, so I get the 4 knowledge income every round. And yeah, this is not the best, but yeah, it's better than not having an income tactile. And so yeah, I grab this tile and go up terraforming, so I have some more options. But you know, I was very committed to going up economy 4, because I'm expanding slowly. We want lots of buildings, so I need income from some source. And if that's not coming from my buildings, then it needs to come from my tactiles and the tech track. That's my thinking. Like science track would also be interesting, but like if I go up the science track, then how am I gonna build tons of buildings? I'll have no income. So it had to be economy track, I think. Well, that's my decision anyway. My thinking, thought process. And yeah, Firax go economy like we expect. Nevertheless, go for the PI like we expect. And then interestingly, they decide not to do any conversion. And that was very surprising to me. Like you have a full set of power tokens over there, but it makes some sense, I guess, because I like as Lantids don't have enough to build my academy right away, and Iraqs already have their research lab there, so they'll not upgrade or downgrade it right at this moment. So I guess you're not in a hurry. Yeah, makes sense, I guess. Right. Ambus, yeah, get their second income tile, and yeah, I think now I fire my my thing, my tactile. Nevertheless, expand. Yeah, because their plan of research lab is also pretty buried, even though they got some charge, which is nice. Then yeah, Amber's beeline to Nav3 it seems, which yeah, I don't know, a little confusing to me, but so I think yeah, I guess you can get to range 3 next round. I don't know. I'm a sucker for those income tech tracks, so that's where I would have been headed. But, all right. So I do my conversions. At least I don't have to burn a power token to do it, and then I build my academy because Nevertheless is still full on everything. I don't charge them at all, which I like. They probably should have done some conversions. And yeah, I grab my second income tactile and go up the income track. Oh yeah, and Nevertheless transforms a lot of their power into knowledge, so they can go up tracks. And Astguan transforms so they can get this planet over there. Yeah, which makes sense. Like, yeah, as Ambus, if this gets taken away by Firax next round, then you're pretty screwed, I think, because that is basically your gateway to some more friendly looking planets like the yellow ones that you really like as Ambus. Alright, yeah, my turn's not very exciting. I just take another step up economy, feeling sad about myself. But somebody jumped over to me a little earlier than I thought they would, which makes me a little happier. Yeah, so Ambus passed before me, took the terraform step, the I pass, and I don't have anything good. I definitely need more ore, so I took the only tile that gives me ore, because there's only 2 tiles that give ore here, and one that, you know, gives better ore, but all of those were taken. Yeah, pretty uninspiring tactile. Alright, and yeah, Nevertheless also go up economy, so everyone's running up economy other than Ambus. Run up F. Alright, yeah, and I have a big coin problem. And I had these 2 extra power tokens. Feels bad burning them away, but I really need coins. Otherwise I'm not doing much this round. So I take the 7 coin action. And I still have 5 power tokens, so that's not bad as Lantids. And I get some more charge. And now I'm thinking, okay, cool. Firax will make this their PI, and also Ambus joined me. So now I have some neighbors, so I can do the whole plan of going PI and build a bunch of mines at some point. And get finally some charge. And yeah, Firax can score a lot of points here, which they will be happy about. And I go up. Oh yeah, my plan is I want this planet and this planet. I need 2 QICs for that. I'll get one from the nav track, which I'll want to be going up on eventually. I prefer to go economy 4 first, but you know, can't have it all. And the second one I'll get from these 4 power rotations, which can be transformed into another QIC. So I'll end the round with academy, 1 trade station, and 2 mines. So at least I hit this round bonus once, and I'll get 2 more points from this, and I'll have 4 buildings. It's a start. It's not perfect, but it's a start. That was the plan. And I jump here first because I felt like, okay, this to me is the more crucial spot because it allows me to, at some point, terraform this space and get extra buildings on the board because, like, the Lantid special ability of being able to build embassies on foreign planets is great, but that can only be done 8 times, and I want to get to, well, 15 buildings at the very least, possibly more like 16 buildings, so I'll need some other planets. I have these 6 blue planets, but 1 or 2 of them might get stolen, and this one's a long way away, and I'll probably only get a single Gaia planet. So I'll need some other sources of habitable planets. And this is in range 3, so that's gonna take me a while to get there. So I decide, okay, take this jump first. And I'm thinking Neverless would probably not take this. Like, both of these are neighbors to Neverless, and I'm thinking they probably, if they get a choice, would rather take this than this, so they give me the option of charging them. That was my thinking. Yeah, it's not clear that Firax will go over there anytime soon, and Neverless love charge, but apparently Neverless thought otherwise, and they are actually going to jump over here, which annoyed me greatly because now my whole plan went out the window of taking this and having additional mines. And I can't transform this one cheaply because the 1 terraform step action has just been taken by the Neverless, so I take the double step and terraform the red and build extra mine. So not ideal, but I'm glad I made this decision to go here. So from here on out, I have better options to expand. Like if I had taken the jump here first, not only would I have already charged the Neverless, they could have then also jump here and block my plans. I could have then taken this planet and charged Neverless again, and be kinda stuck, and it's gonna be more difficult for me to expand in future turns. Not great, but salvageable for now. Yeah, Neverless is doing a lot of knowledge conversion with their power tokens, which leads to them having a bunch of power charge income, but not enough power tokens. So very different than from what I do as Neverless. I almost never use their ability to transform. Or when I do, I usually only do it once. So yeah, at the end of round 2, I have 4 buildings. Not super good, but you know, it's not terrible at least. Workable. And I'm, you know, right there in the mix in terms of victory points. Still hoping for my 36 points from the final scoring that everything is gonna be okay. But I'm at this point thinking, oh damn, I'm gonna get eliminated. Yeah, this is not working out at all as I expected it to. But okay. So initially the idea was to build my PI this round. Right? Usually when you open Academy round 1 with factions like Lantids, you try to build your PI as fast as possible. And I know I played Geoden a lot, and usually when you open Academy as Geoden, you build your PI in round 2 or round 3. And I was, you know, I didn't play Lantids that much, and I thought like, okay, like now is the round where I should build my PI. But then I got thinking like, well, I only have 4 ore here, and I already took the step up on terraforming to get 2 extra ore. Like, if I build my PI now, I'm not doing anything else. Nothing. That did not sound good to me. Like, at that point, I have my PI, cool, but I have no extra mines, and I'll miss the round scoring. And I have this booster tile at least, which lets me, you know, terraform something. So that's the plan. Terraform something and build another trade station instead, and build my PI next round. Because like if I build my PI now, not only do I not have any ore, also my coin income is gonna be devastated again. Things first, yeah, I charge first because my problem is I don't have any red or white planets in range. Because my range is only one, and I also want to go up the economy track, so I don't really want to um, go up to navigation 2, which also wouldn't fix the issue because I have nothing terraformable in range 2 either. It's all just really awkward again. But then I had an idea, which is okay, I'll just build a research lab, pick this tile, and go to Econ 4 this round. Because with this tile, I'll have enough. Like, I have my QAC, which I need. I have an extra ore, so I'll be at 2 ore. So I'll only need 1 more ore to be able to build another mine. And then I'll be left at the end of round 2, at the end of round 3, with an academy, a research lab, trade station, and 2 mines. Not ideal, but I'll also be up on Econ 4, so not bad. And so yeah, I do a free conversion for 1 coin. Then I take the step up, so I'll be at 4, because I had some hopes of maybe getting this power action. If Neverless don't take it for some reason, they have so much power stored up, they can't take everything at once. And indeed, they do not take it. Oh, I can't remember that worked out. So I grabbed the 2 ore, great. That's huge. Alright, and now I built my research lab. I take a non-income tactile. Well, it's sort of a hidden income tactile. It doesn't give you any ongoing bonuses, but it allows you to build an extra mine usually, which is 1 more ore every round. So yeah, hidden income tactile. And the good thing about this play is not only do I hit the round scoring at least once this turn, because I'll upgrade to trade station, there's no point in having 3 mines out, but also I get to open up a new sector of the map. I'm now being able to jump to this blue planet, which so far is uncontested, because Ambers do not want to take blue planets. At least not until round 5. And Neverless is quite a long way away from that, and they'll want to be going here first. So I have some time to hopefully get this planet as well before things go bad. And also, these 2 mines did not have any neighbors, but because there's somebody here, I can now upgrade this to trade station for just 3 coins. So yeah, that worked out quite well. I'm a little behind score-wise compared to the Ambers player, because Ambers already has a federation, and they already have the Planetary Institute, which I find super early. But yeah, in my mind, like, yes, they have more points right now, but that's also minus 5 points they'll be scoring in this round, so I'm kind of okay with them running ahead. Some early federations not score as much later on. Alright, and yeah, I'll end this round with some resources left over, which is nice. Oh, right, and yeah, Neverless is also doing an early federation, because they'll be taking the advanced tactile on economy, which, you know, I'm okay with. Right, grab this pass tile just for the points, for the coins. The plan is build a PI next round and hopefully get one Gaia planet. Be nice. And hopefully I'll get 1 or 2 extra ore from somewhere so that I can build a couple of mines next round alongside my PI. Alright, so end of round 3. Everything or everyone pretty close to each other in terms of victory points, and game pans out kind of like I was expecting it to. Virax now starts Gaia forming. Nevlas is doing stuff, which is a little incoherent. Like that, it's not exactly clear to me what they're trying to do. They have this pass tile, which is good, but when are they gonna build the next fats? I don't know. And if they do it round 5, then they're actually losing points overdoing it just in round 6. So unless they can get more fats in round 4, and I mean at most they can do 1 more fat next round, then that tile just is not that good. Like 9 points for the fats that you get in you'll be having in the final round. But everything before then is some extra points from this tile, but minus 5 points because you didn't that round. So yeah, not that worried about it. Alright. And yeah, like we mentioned, Ambus is ahead in victory points, but they'll not be able to play the tech tracks as well as everyone else, and they already have a Fed. They'll score less. And then they immediately take Nav 5, place the Lost Planet, which gives me charge, so I'm happy about it. But it also bumps the building score, which is good when you want to be having tons of buildings. So yeah, that makes sense. All right, I burn another power token here. So glad that I had these extra 2 power tokens, and I again take the aura. I'm pretty sure here. Yeah, I take the aura because now if I upgrade to my PI, I'll be left with 8 coins and 4 aura, which is enough for 4 more mines. So finally, I'll be able to build PI, build 4 more mines. And then the only problem I'll be having is that then my coin income is gonna be super low. But okay, can't have it all. And also one idea was maybe get a Gaia planet, but that seems more challenging now. Alright, now I do my tech thingy. I'm hoping for the 7 coin action because I know I'm gonna be very short on coins next round. So if by some means I manage to get more coins, I'll be so happy. And nobody else has any power really right now, so there's some hope. Yeah, Ambus takes a second early Federation. I mean, it makes sense. They have their PI ability, so they can cheaply form new feds. But right now, they have 8 buildings, and 7 of them are already in feds. So it's a little difficult for Ambus to keep up this pace of getting 1 fed every round if you start in round 3. It's just very, very hard to do. Right, I finally get to Nav 2. I get charged, so I think I managed to also get the 7 coin action. That's huge. And also I'll be having a neighbor now for these trade stations. Yeah, I got the 7 coins action. It's huge because my coin income, now that I built the PI, is down to just 5. My ore income will shoot up as I'll be building 4 more mines now. But yeah, but my coin income won't. So And the incentive of building more trade stations is kind of low because trade station scoring has already happened. So, all right, I try to build many mines. And also, I want, like, yes, I want to be getting those knowledge steps, but I also want to secure easily buildable planets before they get stolen by, evil people. And like I said, I'm aiming for 15 or 16 buildings, and I can only build 8 embassies, so I need normal planets as well. And since it's no longer round 1, where every point of knowledge is super important, I don't have anything urgent to do with these. It's not so bad. That's the perk of starting with an academy. That knowledge steps are not, they are important, but they're not everything. And yeah, that actually allows me to build a 5th mine because I transformed the QIC that I got from NEF3 into an ore to build another mine because I was feeling pretty bad about this whole situation. If like the rule of thumb is you try to build all of your mines at the end of round 4, and if I had ended round 4 with just 6 mines, then it's a little hard to see how I can build up to 16 buildings or 15 buildings. Because my ore income is just not going to be high enough. And, not even talking about my Bitcoin problem, I'll just have, I will not have enough economy to sustain that. And pretty much all the Gaia planets have been taken already anyways. I'm Lantids, so I can jump through other people's buildings, so I don't need QACs as bad as other people. So yeah. And and now I decide, okay, let's build all my mines. I mean, NAV3 or range 3 doesn't really do much for me. Let's go up the AI track and build another mine. So I have a good economy situation. Like, this is a little inefficient to, take steps to get QAC, transform them into ore, but I got to do something productive with it, which is to build more mines. Like, imagine this scenario and compare it to the same situation basically, but me sitting on only 6 mines, but I'll have 1 QAC. Not doing me many favors. So I think this was another pretty good decision. To max out my mines here, and suddenly, I'm in the lead. 11 buildings. It's a little misleading because other players have. Well, they don't have that many bigger buildings than I do. I have 2 big buildings already and a research lab. So it's going okay, I guess. And I'm up to 10 ore income, which is nice. But with coins, yeah, rough. But I have a plan, and the plan is, so I was thinking here, like I'm 20 points behind the others, and I'm on par with Virax, who will score many more points than me because of this tactile and these 2 tactiles. So I was getting a little nervous, like even more nervous than I used to be, because I thought in round 1 this is not gonna go great. So the other idea that I had was, alright, I have some knowledge income, I'll build more embassies, getting more knowledge, and there's no really good tactiles left for anyone to take. And the best one, aside from this one, which is completely useless for me because I have 0 Gaia planets, is this one. Take 2 victory points whenever you get a research bump. I mean, I'm not gonna get 20 more research bumps, but I might get 5, which is 10 VP, which is not bad. 10 VP is pretty good when you compare it to all these other advanced tactiles that will score me nothing, or next to nothing. And this tactile is pretty bad for the Ambers because, yeah, I don't know, they'll not get a lot of tech bumps. They have 4 knowledge income, so they'll get 1 tech bump every round, but it's not that good for them. So I'm hoping that they'll not rush to get it, that I can somehow grab it. That's the whole idea here. So I want 1 Fed, and with that when fed, I can get some coins, is my thinking. To fix my coin problem, for the time being at least. So I built my academy to grab the big building tech tile so that I can now start to efficiently get a federation going to then grab this tech tile and score some extra points. Because I'm not scoring much here. And I have a really, really big coin problem. Somebody else took the 7 coins action this round. So I get my fed. And again, I took the 2 extra token booster tile because everything else was garbage for me. I don't need the range. I would like the step booster. I need the tokens more, was my thinking. And yeah, I would have liked to accept 3 power for 2 points, but I feel like this is a low scoring game. I can't afford to give my few points away anymore. Alright, so that worked out. So now the next challenge is I need a research lab before Ambus takes, or Furax takes this tile. But Furax don't have a Federation yet, and I look at their buildings and I don't see a good Federation that they can build. So I'm not too worried. But Ambus do have one, but they only have income tactile, so I'm like, okay, it's kind of costly for them to take it, so they might not take it. So I'll just hope and sue it further and hope they don't take it away. Yeah, and they do have trades. They could have taken it in exchange for some resources. I mean, it's round 5. You'll only get this income one more time. It's not the end of the world to overbuild one of these tiles. All right. They fortunately decided not to take it. Oh, and I got enough to actually take the double dig action and get another mine down here. Yeah, and I think what my plan is now is I'll try to get 4 QACs. I'll take one more step up on the AI track, grab a 4th QAC from my academy, and when with 4 QAC action, try to take this advanced tactile. It's very slow. I'll just have to hope that Ambus doesn't take the tile, or I can do it. But I'm just hoping that they won't, because it's not looking like they really want to get it. And like I said, Furax don't, up until this point, didn't have a good bed. And they still need to... Oh, okay, I don't take the 4 QC action. I build the RL, right, and then later on I take the 4 QC action. I think that's... Okay, so now I can take the tile. I have this wonderful tile that I can overbuild. I move up on AI, because together with these 4 knowledge, I'll have 5 QAC. Right, and initially my thought was I can take a 4 QAC power action and get an extra step. But then I was thinking, I have a bigger problem, right? I don't have coins, so instead I took the 3 QAC action and got some more coins again. And nobody has many QICs. So I had 2 plans going into the final round. One was build an early federation and then rush taking this tile, going up to Econ 5. But I mean, I can see that Nevlas has an unflipped Fed token. So I felt like they will 100% beat me to it, and Firax will probably also be faster than me because I first need to build a trade station, build a Fed, and then build a research lab. So I'll need at least 3 actions. So that's probably not gonna happen. So the other plan was that hopefully other people won't be too fast for me and will not be able to take the 3 QAC action before I can do it. That's my thing. I missed that somebody took the QAC action. Okay. So yeah, going into the final round, not looking amazing. Because I'm trailing Nevertheless and Ambus by 30 points, and I'm even with the Firax who have a lot of points coming from here and from here. But oh well. I exchanged for another QAC, so I'll be ready with the 3 QAC action immediately. And then I pass and I get lucky and I get this nice round booster, which will finally score me some points. And the last player to pass the Firax, they don't have a scoring round booster anymore, which I like a lot. Suddenly I feel like, okay, maybe it's not that bad. I'll get 3 more federations this round. And I'm still thinking I can win here. So if we look at this, I don't have the most buildings right now. And I am fully built up on mines, so building new buildings is going to be expensive. I'll have to upgrade, build, and so on. But I only need 4 more buildings to be able to get to 16. And I still have 3 embassies that I can build, which will be very cheap. I only need 1 more mine that I need to terraform or take this tile. But if I take this planet, but if I take this planet, then I'll be too low on power tokens to connect it with my other mines for Federation. So that was not ideal. Alright, I take another QAC because I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can even get 2 of these QAC actions. At this point, I was thinking, okay, I don't even try to get this tile and take a step up economy. I'll just take the safe QAC actions. Alright, they were still kinda safe because none of them had any QACs anyway, so I decided, okay, let's take a Fed now so that if Nevertheless now doesn't take the step up here, I can do the 4 QAC action and take that tile and take the step. Right, I was leaving my options open to get some QAC action, but of course Nevertheless takes the tile. Oh, it just takes the step without the 7 BP tile though. And so now I take the 3 QAC tile for some more coins. And so my next worry is I need this planet. I only have 3 power tokens, and I need 1 more mine on a foreign planet to be able to get to 16. I mean, I see the situation here. I mean, Ambers has a lot of resources left. They will, at the very least, get 1 more mine built. And nevertheless, they also have a lot of, resources left. So I'm thinking I need to go to 16 buildings. I need to build 4 more buildings to have any shot of winning this game, or to stay in it for the next round. So begrudgingly, I lose 1 VP to get to 3 Owen Bull 3, and I have 1 mine that I can build, so I rush the 1-step action, build the mine there, and now I'm very confident that I'll be getting 2 more federations, and get to 16 buildings. But I'm thinking both brown and white could also make it to 16 buildings. They'll be giving up a lot of resources, and they'll probably have to skip the 7 VP tile. But they might get to 16, but they will not also be able to get 16 buildings into federations because of how awkward these final planets are positioned. They can get one of these into their feds, but not both of them. Or I think, yeah, in Neville's case, they can get this into their fed, but not any of the other planets here. And Embers can only take this one into their fed, and none of the others. So I know I'll score 18 points here if I get to 16 buildings. And at the very least, I'll score 12 points from here. So I'll get 30 to 36 points from final score, which is not bad. And I'm thinking whether there's a possibility to also build another research lab and get these 7 points. Like, this is the next stretch goal. Yeah, and also I want to be taking this for QAC action because it scores me 2 points because it's advanced tech tile. And I want to take this tile so I can go to level 4 of the terraforming track for more points, more resources, and more science points. Right? So the perk of opening with the Academy round 1 is look at these tracks, right? I'll top 1 and get to level 4 on 3 others, so I'll score 36 points from tech scoring. And in a low scoring game, that is a lot of points. Coupled with 30 plus points from the final scoring. Might actually be better than opening PI plus 5 mines. Because if I had opened like that, as I initially planned, I wouldn't have taken steps up on science track. I would have gone economy, where I want to build a lot of buildings. But then I don't know that I would get 36 points from tech scoring. I doubt it. Like with this tile plus the Knowledge Academy round 1, that definitely helped a lot scoring wise. And yeah, points still very even, but I still have 2 feds coming up, plus 8 points from fast scoring, plus some more points from this tile. Well, only 2 more points from that, but. And Firax will score 34 points from these 2 scoring opportunities because they have 9 Gaia planets right now, but they still have 1 Gaia former on the board. So they'll score 34 points from that. But in my mind, they'll also score 0 points from the final scoring. So, like I initially said, these 2 scores probably make up for their lack of final scoring. As it turns out, they will be getting 6 points from final scoring because I believe Neville's did not get all of their buildings into federations. So they surpassed Neville's on that front, scoring 6 points. But yeah, so right now I'm still trailing everyone by 30 points. But now I don't feel bad anymore because I know I have 2 feds coming up for a ton of points. I have another 8 points coming from here. I will win final scorings. So I'll outscore everyone there. And I'll get 36 points from the tech tracks, which is the same as the Firax, but more than everyone else. So now I know I'll not get eliminated. And in fact, doing the math, that I'll actually have a shot of winning this game, or at least coming pretty close to it. And I did have enough resources to take the 7 VP tile, build the final federation, 8 points for passing, and final scoring happens. And I win the game. And yeah, like when I did the math in round 6, like at some point halfway through round 6, and I realized, well, it's actually getting pretty close between myself and the Firax. And I started to do some more calculations, realizing, oh, I'll actually win this game. And that was just so surprising to me at that moment, because like all these early rounds, I was just, it felt like complete struggle to me, and my whole game plan that I had set out for myself with a PI opening and stuff went completely out the window. And I had to come up with this emergency plan of opening Ace Academy instead. Um, and then here I am winning this game. So that was, yeah, very exciting to me, and I think it was a fun Lantids game. Maybe because of the struggles, because it can show you how you can go into a game with certain expectations, and then you play the game and realize, oh, everything is completely different than I had anticipated. And then you have to just adjust on the fly. I mean, this was turn-based, asynchronous play, so I had some time to figure out all my moves and make a new plan. I didn't just need to come up with a new plan in like 1 minute. I had the time to do some calculations and check with the resources whether everything would work out. And yeah, and came to the conclusion, okay, Academy opening works. It has some flaws, like resources is going to be really tight, and the transformation from building the PI and building a bunch of mines, that was also pretty tricky, because the initial plan was build PI in round 3, and that I think would have been a terrible decision. If I had built PI in round 3, I would not have won this game. I'm very sure. Um, and it's also interesting to look at this, and if you remember, like with the faction auction, I mean, yeah, my gut feeling of everyone's pretty close to each other in terms of strength is pretty accurate. Um, Somebody bid like 20 or even 40 points on their faction. I mean, we don't know how much the gap between the other factions really was. It could have been 41 on Nevlas and then 39 on Firax or something. But certainly some people felt that was a very big discrepancy. I am curious to know which faction they were most afraid to play. If they doesn't really show statistics. Yeah, well, that's sad. All right. If they were afraid of playing Lantids even, or if they had another faction where they thought, oh no, please don't let me be, I don't know, Ambus or whatnot. I felt like everyone had a pretty fair shot at this. And I was really surprised to see Neville struggle so much. When you consider that they got a bunch of charge round 1. I don't know, I expected them to score higher than this. But it was very awkward with the planet placement and everything. And so yeah, the final situation, I built everything but one TS and one RL. Ambus built less than me, but they have the Lost Planet, so that's one extra building. And they had the resources to, so the final game situation is me at 16, Neverless and Ambus at 15, but Neverless did not get their final buildings into bets, so Firax overtook them. And Ambus could have built one more mine, and they chose to instead build another research lab because they had the research lab pass tile. But if they hadn't built the other research lab, they could have built one more mine, matching me at 16. But they could not have gotten it into a federation. The only planets left were outside of the federations. This is Iraq's mine. So they would have only tied with me here, costing me 3 points. So I would have gotten 15 instead of 18 points, and they would have lost some points from their track scoring and 3 points from their pass tile in exchange for 6 more points. So that they felt apparently that that's not worth it. I think that's right. And looking at it, like even with 3 less points, it would have still been okay. So yeah, I was very happy, very excited to be winning this game. As you can maybe tell, I made some small mistakes towards the end where I didn't really consider the order of my actions enough. And if Firax had gotten one more charge, then they could have built another research lab, taking 7 victory point tactile. They didn't have it then. And then they would have had like 1 more point than me. They would have lost 2 points from their resource scoring, but they would have gained 7. Oh, and they would have, yeah, they would have had to give up 1 victory point to make that happen, to accept the charge. Yeah, I could have, yeah. So they were very, very close to me, really. It's 2 coins, that's all that it takes. Go up to 175. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you like this kind of content or not. And if you do, I'll try to come up with some more interesting scenarios and strategies, hopefully. I have at least one more game coming up that I think is very exciting. The very nice Geoden game. But we'll see. Yeah. So thanks everyone for watching. Have a good day and goodbye.